Hi. Just checking to make sure we're on, as usual. Should be coming up any moment. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Go down a little bit. A little bouncy. Okay. So welcome to our Tuesday, meditation, and just want to make sure that I did this right. Yeah, there we go. That's good. We're in the week of Kitisa, the golden calf moment of the Torah. When they're waiting for Moses, they get kind of antsy and they do the golden calf. I'm sorry about the dog barking. I don't know if you can hear that, but our dog next door, he sometimes starts to bark and it's hard to stop him. So yesterday we talked about patience, because the Israelites didn't have the patience to wait more than 40 days for Moses to come back down. And I was thinking a lot about what they do instead. Is Aaron comes to Moses, and they come to Aaron, and Aaron tells everyone, they're like, Aaron, we need a God. We need something. And Aaron's like, okay, take all your earrings, your bracelets, your rings, your nose rings, everything, and give me all your gold, and we'll melt it down, and we'll make you a god. And I started thinking about what is the basis for what the Israelites are going through. And it is that something that they needed, that they felt had either left them or hadn't yet arrived. Something that they felt was an integral part of their lives was like stripped from them in a way. And the fact that they would even need to have a calf represent this God, when they had already heard God on Mount Sinai, they already saw God's might at the Sea of Reeds. I mean, for them to not have faith in God at this point seems just absolutely crazy, but it points up the idea that if we are unsure and something's taken away from us that was kind of grounding us, how difficult it is to exist. And I wish we'd had this Torah portion last year when the pandemic began, because I'd say, well, there's going to be a lot that's been taken away from us, or that will be taken away from us. And how are we going to deal with that? But now that we're a year in, I think there's two questions to ask. One would be, just that. What is your, and I'm going to say this on purpose, what is your sacred cow? What is your golden calf that you needed to create that too, because something else was missing? Have you created something to take the place of something that you felt has been lacking because of the pandemic? And then there's another approach. Look, when I start thinking about these things, I start kind of just going off in directions, because I don't know where people are. And the other side of it is, we're kind of getting used to the way things are this way. What are the things that you feel, once we start going back out into the world, what in that case is going to be taken away from you? If we're prepared for that, or we notice kind of, wow, I'm really getting anxious because I'm not going to be able to X, or there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding how I'm going to Y, because life is going to be different again from what it is now. And I think human beings are incredible at adapting, and every single person I've talked to has found some way to adapt to what's happening for themselves, right? I was talking to a psychologist earlier today, and she was talking about, she's an anxiety expert, right? So think about all the different sources of anxiety that have gotten in the way in this past year. And now, as we approach kind of the end of this and the slow opening and re-entering into the new now, what is it that, we're used to living this way, right? It's funny. I mean, I'm used to being in this spot to do this meditation. It didn't take me a lot to adjust to it, right? I'd been doing it the first, 5-6 months was always in the house. But there were people in the house, and they kind of were, and then this space was created, and I could use this space. And now it's like, wow, I don't even know if I can do my meditation in other spaces. I'm just so used to this space. I used to have this strange thing. Whatever office I was in for most of the time, I would be used to writing in that room. So I needed to kind of go back to that room. So I had an office in the synagogue where I wrote everything. And then there was a while where I was the head of school, so I had 2 offices. But I was so used to being in the other office and writing in that office that when I went back to the other one, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not working for me here. And I would get regulated into mitregel in the Hebrew, right, to where I was, and that's the place that I did my best writing. So now I'm basically in this space that you see for every one of my meetings, for every one of these meditations, for a lot of what I'm doing. And it's like maybe this space is going to be taken away, that I'm not going to be in this space as much. I'm going to have to find other places to do it. Not that any of this is negative, but they're all things that can cause anxiety to come into us, so that we're uncertain as we enter into it, and we could be like the Israelites, where after 40 days, right, or the frustration, we're like, look, I just need to have this other thing so that I feel better about myself. What would that be? I don't know. So, the idea of the Israelites needing a replacement for God because they, it's almost like they got used to having God around. Why they thought because Moses wasn't around for 40 days that God would disappear, I'm not quite sure of. But obviously there was a tremendous amount of angst going on in the camp because Moses was taking so long, and they just believed that what they were experiencing at that moment was going to be forever. No moment is forever. No place is forever. And whether we get used to something or we don't get used to it, wherever we are in the now, that's where we are. Part of this mindfulness is that we don't grow a kind of attachment to one specific place. And the fact is, I'm being a little dramatic about it. I mean, I've done these meditations from my office, and I've done them from here, and I've done them from the front. And, for me, it's much more of trying to find some kind of connection with you, even though I don't see you and you see me. But I'm aware of who's here. And yesterday, actually, there was a comment I read the comments afterward that was like, wow, this is a time where I'm able to kind of leave everything behind so that I can concentrate on what's in front of me. That's it. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And if we start to think about in our mind as we're meditating, I wonder, if these ideas will come up in our minds of where the anxiety points are for us to move back out into the world. Now is a good time to start to think about what's causing that anxiety and what you're afraid of and what you're looking forward to at the same time. But not to replace what we have now, but to alter the way our lives will be, and to just anticipate that. Perhaps that's what we need to do at this point, to have the patience, because we know it's going to be a while, but at the same time anticipate, well, what is it going to be like? I'm sure our institution, as many others, are looking into, what does this reopen look like? When's it going to be? What has to happen for us to reach that moment? And that's the same thing with all of our lives individually. We need to plan for them a little bit. How quick am I going to be literally just going into work every day? Will I still be doing things, on Zoom? What is it that we're going to do? Am I going to be doing this every day? even when we kind of go back. It does seem like that is the case, but you never know. So now is the time not to become impatient because something might be taken from us, but to say, okay, what is it going to be? Not that there's anything taken from, but what is going to be the opportunities for me to enter into this next time? So today we start our first of the 3 priestly benedictions. May I feel blessed and may I feel safe. So we'll get to that in the last 5 minutes or so. For now, we are moving towards our breathing. And again, breathe. We're not solving anything. We're not breathing in any particular way, just however you need it. And we're just allowing things to be as they are for now. For now. And we're bringing ourselves into this now to recognize what's here in front of us, to notice where we are. So as we bring ourselves down, might be difficult with the dog barking in the background. But what I like to do when that happens is I acknowledge that that dog is there and that that might take my mind away from. Let's try to love ourselves, not judge ourselves. I like to just kind of come in now just to remind us that I'm sure our thoughts have taken us away already. So just with kindness, let's concentrate on our breath and now how our body is reacting, the sensations in our body. Let's leave behind the world for a moment. As we move towards our last several minutes together, we start to ask for certain feelings. We ask today for the feelings of blessing, feelings of safety. May I feel blessed, and may I feel safe. This is again a reminder to us that we are blessed. We just need to feel it, but we are. And to enjoy a feeling of safety. Sometimes we are and we don't feel it. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. With each breath, you can say it aloud, say it to yourself, you can whisper it. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel blessed and safe. If you'd like to invite someone to be in your mind's eye in front of you, you can picture them and offer them those same two blessings or feelings. May you feel safe. May you feel blessed. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. With each breath, you can offer these feelings. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. Let's just carry that on for a couple of breaths. And just bring it back to ourselves. Just try to get in touch with your breath. One last moment of just being in the present, being here now, allowing everything to be just as it is for now. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope that you were able to find some stillness and peace. May you feel blessed and may you feel safe. I hope you have a beautiful evening.